What if I told you that your entire life has been programmed to keep you trapped in a cycle of scarcity and suffering, and that the key to breaking this programming was revealed millennia ago, but purposefully hidden from you? This isn't a theory. It's a fact. An intelligence the ancient Egyptians called Thoth, the scribe of the gods, left a map. A map that doesn't involve rituals or beliefs, but rather the activation of three primordial forces of the universe. Three energies so powerful that when you learn to use them, your frequency rises to a point where debt, anxiety, and frustration simply can't reach you anymore. And the first thing you need to know to begin using this power is that the world isn't real, at least not the way you see it. The chair you're sitting in, the money you're seeking, your own body, everything is 99.9% empty energy waiting for a command. Your command. Today I won't just tell you what these three forces are. I'll show you how to activate them so you'll never again be a prisoner of your reality. Stay until the end, because the truth Thoth revealed is simple and shocking. You are a god disguised as a human, and it's time to wake up. If you feel you are ready to awaken, comment below. I am the creator of my reality. He who understands the truth of vibration has conquered the scepter of power. The entire universe, from the cosmic dust floating in space to the vastness of a galaxy, is a vast symphony of vibrations. And you are not a mere spectator of this cosmic dance. You are an instrument in it, emitting your own melody every second of your existence. Think about it for a moment. Every thought that crosses your mind, every emotion you feel, be it joy, fear, anger, or peace, is not a private event contained within you. They are waves of energy, signals you transmit to the quantum field that connects us to everything. These signals act like a magnet, attracting into your life experiences that correspond exactly to the frequency you are emitting. Your external reality, what you call good or bad luck, is merely a mirror of your internal vibrational state. What seems like a mystical or esoteric idea is now being confirmed by the most brilliant scientists of our time. Quantum physics, exploring the subatomic world, discovered that at the most fundamental level, matter behaves more like a probability wave than a solid particle. The observer's consciousness affects the outcome of experiments. The ancient Egyptians knew this intuitively, through a deep connection with the laws of the universe. They understood that to change the world, one must first change oneself. But Thoth didn't just reveal the problem, he delivered the solution. He left a clear map, a practical method for anyone to learn how to control their own vibration and thus escape the prison of scarcity, illness, and frustration. He didn't point to external gods or unattainable forces, he pointed within. He revealed three primordial forces, three keys capable of permanently recalibrating one's energetic frequency, opening the doors to a life of power and conscious creation. The first of these keys, the most essential and perhaps the most misunderstood of all, is not a fleeting feeling, an object, or a place. It is the very foundation of the cosmos, the primordial energy from which everything emerges, a force modern science calls zero-point energy, or the unified field. It is the power that pulsates in the void, the source of all creation. The journey to unlock the God you are, disguised as human, begins now. The first door is about to open, and what lies behind it is not what you expect. The force that builds worlds. completely forget your image of love. The first force revealed by Thoth has nothing to do with the romantic love seen in movies, which is often based on neediness, attachment, jealousy, and exchange. It's not a feeling that depends on another person to exist. The primordial force is a state of being, a vibrational frequency that represents the very energy of creation. It's the glue that holds the universe together. Physicist Max Planck, considered the father of quantum theory, stated that behind all matter lies a conscious and intelligent force, and that this force is the matrix of everything. The ancients simply called it love. This love is a pure resonance, an energy that flows unconditionally, expecting nothing in return. It is the strength a mother, in her most archetypal and pure state, feels for her child. She doesn't love because the child has done something to deserve it. She simply loves. It is an emanation, a presence that nourishes and sustains. When you learn to access this frequency within yourself, you stop chasing happiness as if it were a destiny and realize that it is your origin. You become the very source of the happiness you so desperately sought. In your daily life, this changes everything. In the workplace, you stop operating in obligation mode just to receive a paycheck and start acting with purpose and presence, understanding that your every action has an impact on the whole. In your relationships, you free yourself from the need for control and emotional dependence. You begin to love with clarity, allowing the other person to be free, because your love no longer comes from a place of emptiness, but from a place of fulfillment. This love doesn't demand or manipulate, it simply is, and its presence transforms everything around it. Vibrating in this state of power aligns you with the source of all abundance. Opportunities begin to flow your way, the right people appear, and life takes on a flow of synchronicity and harmony. You become a positive force field that elevates not only your own life, but the lives of everyone you come into contact with. However, accessing and sustaining this frequency is nearly impossible if you're carrying a specific type of energetic poison. A heavy anchor that keeps you trapped in vibrations of pain and suffering. This anchor is so common that most people carry it without even realizing it. Believing it's a normal part of life, it contaminates your energy, blocks the flow of love, and keeps you in a cycle of repeating negative patterns. Thoth clearly taught that for the power of love to flow freely through you and manifest a new reality, it's absolutely essential to first remove this barrier. To do this, he revealed a second force, a tool many consider a sign of weakness. In truth, this tool is one of the greatest acts of power and vibrational intelligence a human being can perform. It's the key that dissolves the chains that bind you to the past and frees your energy to create a new future. Without it, the first force, love, is blocked, unable to work its magic in your life. Prepare to discover the power that frees you from your own inner prison and opens the space necessary for abundance to finally enter. The secret tool to unleash your power. The second force is forgiveness, but not forgiveness as a moral or religious act where you simply say, "I forgive you" out loud. We're talking about an energy release mechanism. Most people live chained to the past, preferring to cling to anger, resentment, and hurt. They feel justified in their pain, repeating the story of how they were wronged, and find a comfortable identity in the role of victim. What they don't realize is that this attachment to pain is a self-inflicted poison, which freezes their vibrational frequency in a state of suffering. Holding on to resentment is like holding a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone. In the end, you're the one who gets burned. This low vibration energy completely blocks the flow of life, preventing new opportunities, new relationships, and prosperity from reaching you. Forgiveness, in Thoth's view, doesn't mean agreeing with what was done or absolving the other of the error. It means cutting the energetic bond that still connects you to that person and that painful situation. It's an act of pure intelligence where you decide to stop poisoning yourself and reclaim your power. In the workplace, for example, holding a grudge against a boss or colleague for a past injustice creates a repulsion field for new opportunities. You become trapped in that energy, and your career stagnates. In relationships, lack of forgiveness is like watching the same horror movie every night, reliving the hurt and betrayal daily. This cycle sickens not only the mind, but also the physical body, manifesting in illness and chronic pain. The energy of resentment is one of the densest there is. And perhaps the most challenging and powerful forgiveness of all is self-forgiveness. Carrying guilt and shame over poor financial decisions, failed relationships, or past words completely closes off the channels of abundance. You feel unworthy of receiving, and the universe, which merely reflects your inner state, responds to your lack of worthiness. Forgiving yourself is the act of freeing yourself from your own prison, accepting your humanity, and giving yourself a new chance. Those who don't forgive are, in essence, tied to an energetic corpse, dragging the weight of the past everywhere. And the physical body always responds to this blockage, whether through financial crises, health problems, or a constant feeling of stagnation. By releasing the past through true forgiveness, you not only heal your energy, but also open an empty space within yourself. And it is in this clean and fertile space that the third force revealed by Thoth can finally enter and operate. This third key works like a mathematical law of the universe, a principle that, when activated, begins to amplify and multiply all that is good in your life in a way that seems magical. It takes the space you've cleared with forgiveness and fills it with a high-frequency energy that attracts more of the same. Prepare to experience the power that aligns you with the infinite abundance of the cosmos and transforms reality in astonishing ways. The cosmic mathematics of abundance. The third force is gratitude. But again, not the superficial gratitude that has become fashionable, of merely repeating phrases or making mental lists without feeling. True gratitude, as taught by Thoth, is a state of reverence for life, a deep and visceral recognition of the blessing of simply existing. It's the awareness that pulses in your heart upon waking, the realization that each new day is an undeserved gift, a blank canvas, a new opportunity to create, to love, to begin again. It's feeling, not just thinking, that you are fortunate. When you can access this state of authentic gratitude, your vibrational frequency becomes coherent with the field of creation. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, doesn't understand your words, but it responds perfectly to your vibration. Gratitude is the frequency of receiving. It's a clear signal you send to the cosmos saying, "Yes, I am open and ready for more of this." It's a universal law as precise as gravity. What you acknowledge and thank grows and multiplies in your life. It's simple and relentless cosmic mathematics. If you give thanks, the universe delivers more. If you complain, the universe also gives you more to complain about. By focusing your attention and emotional energy on what you already have, be it health, a roof over your head, food on the table, or the air you breathe, your energetic signature changes dramatically. You move out of the frequency of lack and scarcity and into the frequency of abundance. And like a powerful magnet, you begin to attract more experiences, people, and resources that resonate with this new vibration. But here's the big secret, the piece of the puzzle most people leave out. These three forces, unconditional love, liberating forgiveness, and magnetic gratitude, don't work in isolation. They are like the three sides of a sacred pyramid, inseparable and interdependent. Alone, they lose much of their transformative power. Love without forgiveness becomes unhealthy attachment. Forgiveness without gratitude for the lesson learned can become indifference. And gratitude without love is just an empty technique, a mental simulation. It is in the synergistic integration of these three forces that true alchemy occurs. When united and practiced consistently, they create a unified force field, a triune resonance that raises your vibration to a whole new level. Your energy becomes so coherent and powerful that the material reality around you has no choice but to begin reorganizing itself to mirror your new state of being. And it is precisely at this point in the journey that things start to get truly interesting and also dangerous. The union of these three powers triggers a purification process so intense that it inevitably awakens a dormant guardian within your own mind. An ancient force specifically designed to sabotage you and keep you trapped in the old reality, in your comfort zone. This guardian will do everything to prevent you from moving forward, because your liberation means its death. The most important battle of your life is about to begin. When you begin to truly practice and integrate love, forgiveness, and gratitude, your vibrational frequency skyrockets. The shift isn't subtle. It's like replacing a dim, yellowish light bulb with an LED spotlight. And it's at this precise moment that the true challenge of the journey presents itself. Your external reality, a faithful reflection of your internal world, begins to dramatically reorganize itself. People vibrating at the old frequency of complaining and victimhood simply move away. Situations of conflict and stagnation dissolve. New opportunities and surprising synchronicities begin to appear out of nowhere. This purification process, however, activates the human psyche's oldest and most resilient defense system, the ego. Think of the ego not as something bad, but as your mind's survival software. Its primary function is to keep you safe, and for it, safety means familiarity. The ego hates change, hates the unknown, because it can't control what it doesn't know. It feeds on fear, control, and the repetition of patterns, even if those patterns are painful. Your spiritual evolution is a direct threat to its existence. And then he'll fight. He'll fight with every weapon he has to stop you from moving forward. He'll begin to whisper doubts in your mind. This is complete nonsense. You're deluding yourself. See, nothing's really changed. He'll bring up old fears, deep insecurities, and memories of all the times you tried and failed to change. He'll try to convince you that the familiar pain of your past is safer than the uncertainty of a bright future. The ego is the master of self-sabotage. This is the tipping point, the crucial moment where 99% of people who begin a transformation journey give up. They interpret this internal resistance as a sign that the process isn't working, that they're not capable, or that it was all just a fantasy. They believe the voice of their ego and retreat to the safety of their ancient prison. But the truth is exactly the opposite. The ego's fierce resistance isn't a sign of failure. It's the greatest sign that transformation is happening at a deep level. Overcoming this barrier is the most important step toward your freedom. It requires understanding that you are not the voice in your head. You are the consciousness that hears that voice. Thoth, in his wisdom, did not teach how to destroy the ego, as it is a necessary tool for life in matter. Instead, he left clear and precise instructions on how to transcend its tyranny, how to transform this internal saboteur into your greatest and most powerful ally. Learning to deal with your ego is like learning to tame a wild horse. At first, it will resist. It will throw you off. It will fight your command. But with patience, observation, and firmness, you can teach it to serve you. You can channel all its strength and power to lead you in the direction of your dreams, instead of keeping you tied to the past. The next key of Thoth will teach you exactly how to do this, how to transform this inner beast into a weapon to achieve your goals. Thoth taught a profound and liberating truth. The ego is not your enemy. It is not an evil entity that must be destroyed in a bloody battle. Think of it as a guardian of the threshold, a bouncer at the door of your consciousness, whose sole function is to ensure your survival in the physical world. The problem was never the existence of the ego, but our total and complete identification with it. We came to believe that we are the voice in our head, that we are our fears, our worries, and our past stories, and so the servant became the master. When the ego is undisciplined, it becomes a tyrant. It rules your life from a control room fueled by fear and limitation. Any attempt to expand, grow, or raise your vibration is perceived by it as a mortal threat to its dominance. This is why it rebels so strongly when you begin to change. It creates the illusion that you are losing control, when in fact, you are finally beginning to gain true mastery over yourself. The key to taming this inner beast is not struggle, suppression, or denial. Struggle only strengthens the ego, for it thrives on drama. The true key is observation without judgment. It's the ability to step back and observe the thoughts and emotions generated by the ego without being carried away by them. It's recognizing fear arising without becoming the fear. It's listening to the voice of doubt without believing it. You become the silent witness, the sky that watches the clouds of thoughts pass by without identifying with any of them. This process of disciplining the ego is what ancient alchemists symbolized as the transmutation of lead into gold. Lead represents the dense, heavy consciousness identified with the ego, living in a state of survival, reaction, and victimhood. Gold represents the enlightened, light, and free consciousness which operates from a state of creation, power, and choice. You don't destroy the lead, you transform it. You use the ego's own power, but now directed by your higher consciousness. By mastering your ego, you transform it into your trained guard dog. It will still be there to alert you to real dangers, but no longer to stop you from living your dreams. It becomes a powerful tool that serves you rather than a master that imprisons you. You become the master of your own energy, able to choose your vibration and emotional state at any given moment, regardless of external circumstances. Other people's opinions, negative news, or everyday challenges. Nothing has the power to knock you off center. And it is precisely this mastery over your own energy that finally unlocks the central secret of Thoth, the principle that connects the invisible world of the mind with the visible world of matter. It is the bridge between spirituality and science, the physics behind miracles and conscious manifestation. Now that you have learned to clear your field with forgiveness, energize it with love and gratitude, and overcome the guardian that sabotaged it, you are ready for the great revelation. Prepare yourself, because what you are about to hear is what was promised from the beginning. The final secret of Thoth: you are a god in disguise. The first and most important of the 7 Hermetic principles that Thoth, also known as Hermes Trismegistus, bequeathed to humanity is this: the all is mind, the universe is mental. For millennia, this phrase was considered an esoteric enigma, a philosophical metaphor. Today, quantum physics, the cutting edge of modern science, is proving that this statement is a literal description of reality. Scientists delving into the heart of the atom found not solid matter, but rather a vortex of energy, a field of information, and potentiality. The universe is not a collection of separate physical objects, but a vast unified field of energy that is intelligent and responsive. Matter, at its most fundamental essence, is vibration, and this vibration responds directly to consciousness. Your thoughts and emotions are not private, harmless events confined within your skull. They are waves of energy, frequencies that you transmit into this quantum field every second, functioning as instructions that tell the energy how it should organize itself and manifest in the physical world. Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza has demonstrated in thousands of brain scans that when a person sustains elevated emotional states, such as love and gratitude, the chemistry of energy of their brain and body changes dramatically. New genes, including healing and longevity genes, are activated. New neural networks are created, literally rewiring the brain for a new reality. What you consistently feel shapes your body, your health, and, consequently, your destiny. You don't attract into your life what you want with your logical mind. You attract what you are in your vibration. This is the physics of manifestation in its purest form. This is the secret that has been kept under lock and key. You are a god disguised as a human. You are an extension of the creative consciousness of the universe, endowed with the same power to create worlds through your frequency. Life doesn't happen for you. It happens through you. Understanding and accepting this on a deep level is the turning point that takes you from the position of passive victim of chance and puts you in the driver's seat, in the role of conscious creator of your reality. You are not a puppet in the hands of fate. You are the puppet master, but you've forgotten it. You have the power to collapse the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into a real, tangible experience through the focus of your attention and the coherence of your emotions. The question that arises then is the most important of all. If you have this power, why isn't your life exactly as you'd like it to be? The answer lies in your unconscious programming and your inability to sustain this new vibration. The real challenge isn't understanding this power, but rather embodying it and keeping it active amidst the chaos and distractions of the modern world. How do you sustain a vibration of abundance when the bills arrive? How do you maintain a frequency of love when people disappoint you? How do you stay in a state of power when the old program of fear and doubt tries to pull you back? The answer lies in the next secret, revealed by Thoth, a practical and ongoing process that will take you from theory to mastery. Understanding intellectually that you are a creator is one thing. Living and embodying this truth in every cell of your being is quite another. Raising and maintaining your frequency is not a one-time event, a magic trick that happens overnight. It is a daily discipline, an ongoing commitment, a true training of the soul. Thoth taught that mastery is not born from a single quantum leap in consciousness, but from the daily, consistent, and dedicated practice of the three fundamental forces: love, forgiveness, and gratitude. This means waking up each morning and, before even picking up your phone and allowing the outside world to dictate your state of mind, you intentionally choose your vibration. You dedicate the first few minutes of your day to connecting with the frequency of unconditional love, practicing forgiveness for any resentment that has arisen, and flooding your being with gratitude for the simple gift of being alive. You set the energetic tone for your day rather than letting the day define you. It's a process that requires dedication and an unwavering commitment to yourself, almost like a marriage to your own evolution. It's about practicing unconditional love in a bank line, choosing forgiveness in the midst of a traffic jam, feeling gratitude for a simple meal. It's not about striving for perfection, as that's a trap of the ego. It's about persistence. There will be days when you falter, when the old programming of fear and anger will scream louder and bring you down. In these moments, the key isn't self-criticism or blame, which only sink you deeper into low vibrations. The key is self-compassion, self-forgiveness, and the kindness to simply get up and get back on track. Each time you consciously choose to return to a higher frequency, you strengthen this new neural circuit. It's exactly like strengthening a muscle at the gym. The more you exercise it, the stronger and more automatic it becomes. It takes effort at first, but over time, it becomes your natural state of being. And as your vibration rises and stabilizes at a higher, more permanent level, something truly miraculous begins to happen. The veil of illusion, the perception that you are a separate and limited being, begins to tear. You begin to perceive the interconnectedness of all things. You feel the unity that quantum physicists describe in their theories and that mystics of all ages have tried to express in words. You realize that you are not in the universe. You are the universe expressing itself. This realization of unity is the gateway to the next and deepest secret of Thoth. It is a revelation that transcends the mind and can only be experienced in the heart. It is the ultimate recognition of your true identity, a truth so profound that, once felt, it dissolves all suffering and frees you from the wheel of cause and effect. Prepare to look in the mirror and see the face of God, for the journey is taking you to the core of your own divine essence. As you become steadfast in this process of vibrational elevation, practicing daily soul discipline, the greatest of all human illusions begins to dissipate, the illusion of separation. You begin to realize, not as an intellectual concept, but as a lived experience, that you are not a loose leaf in the wind, vulnerable and at the mercy of external forces. You realize that you are the very force of the wind, a conscious and inseparable expression of the unified field of energy that constitutes the universe. Thoth taught that the root of all human suffering, without exception, stems from the belief in separation. The belief that you are separate from God, separate from others, separate from abundance, separate from love. It is this belief that generates fear, lack, competition, mussen, and loneliness. On the other hand, joy, peace, creativity, and abundance are not things you need to acquire. They are your natural state of being, emerging spontaneously when the illusion of separation is removed. This is the true awakening of your divine essence. It is the deep and unshakable recognition that you are, in your most fundamental nature, the very creator of your reality. The famous mystical metaphor that says, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop," ceases to be a poetic phrase and becomes a literal truth for you. You contain within you all the power and potential of the cosmos, waiting to be awakened and expressed. This realization is not a thought. It is a certainty that springs from deep within your soul, a silent knowledge that transcends logic and reason. As you awaken to this truth, the fear of death loses its power over you, for you understand that consciousness is eternal. Anxiety about the future dissolves, for you know that you create it in every present moment. The weight of the past disappears, for you realize it exists only as a memory in a mind that you are no longer. You become a clear channel for the infinite intelligence of the universe to flow through you. Intuition becomes your primary compass, and synchronicity becomes the normal language of your life. You stop fighting the flow of life and learn to dance with it, becoming a conscious and deliberate co-creator of your journey. You no longer force outcomes, you allow them to manifest from a state of alignment and trust. And it is in this state of awakened consciousness, of unity with the whole, that the final piece of Thoth's puzzle fits perfectly. The final revelation, a truth so simple yet so overwhelming that when fully understood and experienced, it frees you forever from the wheel of suffering and crowns you the sovereign master of your own destiny. Prepare for the key that unlocks the doors of immortality and consciously unites you with the cosmic mind. Thoth's final revelation, the culmination of this entire journey, is the simplest and yet most profound of all truths. You are a spark of divine consciousness, a fraction of the Creator, experiencing yourself in human form. This is not blasphemy or an act of egotistical arrogance. It is the ultimate truth of your existence, the secret whispered by all the great masters and avatars throughout history. You are God having fun or suffering in the playground of material reality. The choice is yours. The journey of raising your frequency, therefore, has never been about becoming something you are not. It has always been about remembering who you truly are. It is the journey back home, the process of stripping away the countless layers of conditioning, fear, and limiting beliefs that have been imposed on you, so that the light of your true identity can finally shine unobstructed. You are not becoming divine. You are removing what blocks the divinity that already exists within you. By integrating the three forces of love, forgiveness, and gratitude, by mastering the inner beast of the ego, and by understanding the physics of manifestation, you naturally assume your rightful place as the architect and master of your reality. Life ceases to be a series of reactions to random circumstances and becomes a conscious creation from your state of being. You no longer react to the world reacts to you. You no longer seek happiness in external sources such as relationships, possessions, or achievements, because you have become the source of happiness itself, radiating it from within. You no longer fear the unknown or the uncertainty of the future, for you embrace them as a field of infinite possibilities, a playground for your creativity. Life transforms from a struggle for survival into a dance of creation. This is the mastery of reality, the inheritance that Thoth and all the great masters have bequeathed to us. Wisdom has been revealed. The keys to unlock your inner power have been handed over. The door to your divinity, which was never truly closed, is now clearly visible to you. The journey, however, does not end here. In fact, it has only just begun. Awakening is not the final destination, it is the beginning of true life. Every day, every moment, with every breath, you have the opportunity to choose your vibration, to practice the three forces, and to remember who you truly are. The choice to walk through this door and live as the powerful, limitless being you were born to be is, and always will be, yours. The universe awaits patiently for your decision. What will you create now? If you've made it this far, comment below. My frequency was elevated. That way, I'll know this message made sense to you. And if you'd like to help the channel more directly, the first pinned comment gives you access to contribute and support the promotion of more content like this. Any help you can give is very important to me and to the growth of the channel. But know that just watching until the end has already helped a lot. And you can also share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't leave yet, because I've put together a special video for you to watch right now. See you there.